Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go over a couple of exercises as far as how to draw a head, and hopefully you'll be able to follow along. I'm going to do. I'm also going to do a demonstration on a ball here in a little bit, so I can better illustrate what I'm attempting to convey and what you need to convey when you're drawing a face. All right. So, with that being said, let's get started. I said you just want to draw. Let's start out sketchy. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. What you do is you do guidelines. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do. Just start off with your basic front view, and we're going to do a little measuring right there. And then what you're going to do is for the eyes. So I like to do the eyebrow. Kind of like think of it as a wide W. The thing I've find that helped me actually helps anyone from my experience is we have a psychological barrier when we start naming things in the sense of okay, instead of two eyebrows that looks like a wide W, if you will. We have shapes instead of oval shapes instead of eyes. The second we start saying, oh, that's supposed to be a face, I find that people create blocks for themselves and they immediately are not able to accomplish drawing a face. Thing is, you have to unlearn things that have been ingrained in you to identify. And what I find is that if you just convey to yourself that you are drawing shapes, granted, a collection of shapes to create what we know as a face, then, yeah. But you have to kind of turn off that idea that you're drawing a face in order to get it done. Do some eyes here. And what I like to do is do a little here where I know where to stop at the tip of the nose here. So everybody says, oh, you draw a face oval, it's like an egg. But we're going to stop here for a second. And I'm going to switch to the ball now so you get the idea. My dry marker. And this is something I did in class with my students. And the second time after we established drawing a face. And what I like to do is that you have your ball here. And you do this. You just follow that crease right there. Okay, and then do this here. Okay, and the reason we do this is, see here you have, let's draw have your brows there, your eyebrows. That's a little bit. Let's try doing this a little longer. So you have your eyes here. And then, say your, like I said, your nose. Then there's your mouth. That's a front view, okay? Basically, but we're gonna hold off on that just yet. So let's draw some eyes. So you have that, right? Now, believe it or not, no matter which way you face it, the mechanics are still the same. You have your cross here, your roundness. That's the top of the skull. That's the top part. I like to break the skull down into two parts. This part, and then there's your jawbone, which you can alter the length and the width of it to depict, ranging from age to build to gender. So, but that'll come at another lesson. Right now, I'm just trying to establish getting the front here and the top of the head. So what you want to do is that if you change the eyes, the pupils, I said, you can actually change the whole feeling of the pose. So let's do this. You can do that looking from the side, and then you have, almost a suspicious look. You have, which this is looking up. You just draw the, there, almost sinister. But there's another way, which is a personal favorite of mine, for when a character is looking up at another character who's, like, let's say, standing on a mountain. It changes the whole feel. Get that out the way. See? So you have like a dum dum dum, like almost like a big reveal, dramatic moment. And that's just from the placing of the eyes, just on that curvature here. But we'll continue on with the lesson, and you'll see. That there. And we'll continue on. So I'm gonna make our, we'll do it this way. So, okay, so we'll do that, and then and if you make a mistake, that's why this is at the end of this pencil. It allows you to correct it. Sorry for that. Just trying to catch a paper falling off the drafting table here. But some, in my experience, some teachers I've had are teachers, particularly who are characters in their own right. They said that they expressed that they didn't want you to start depending on erasing, because they want you to learn from looking at your mistakes. Yeah, but if I'm trying to get a piece done, I would like to be able to correct as I go along. So yeah, that's why that's there. Utilize it. I never understood why certain teachers were like that, but like really crazy about that. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on. I have that little dent, And when you start getting an idea of what you feel comfortable of how it's starting to look, you can start committing to those lines by darkening it. Do a little bit of the iris there. Yeah. So, you have your ears here. That outer part that comes out from the side here. And this connects to the jaw, but we're not going to do that just yet. Okay, and I know here you would have your hairline depending on what style of hair you're going to give your character or your drawing. So start getting this out the way. Again, I'm sorry, the camera's a little shaky. It's attached to the table that I'm working on here. Working on getting that more stable for you. Okay. I'm gonna start bringing that in a little bit more, and so that's your front of your front view, pretty much. Sorry, I'm just going off a little bit out of habit. So you have that. And that's pretty much the beginning of your front view of a face for you. Okay. Start erasing some of this so you know where you're going. Sometimes you leave that in there. Sometimes I work off of that just depending on where my lighting is, source of light. So, you have your brow, temple here. And, so it's the beginning of starting to look like your face, like a face here. Fill that in. And you start erasing your lines, guidelines, as they say, and you have that. That's, and as I said, once you start deciding and you're satisfied with the lines that you have, you can start committing to them by darkening them. Just with a little bit of pressure there, and you have that. Okay.